Okay, looks like we're live. So, I hope you guys can hear me over my heater. It is freezing cold at my place right now, hence why I'm all bundled up. Hi, Darian. Oh, let me pause my 30 seconds ago, so. All right, so it seems like, on my end, it seems like I'm choppy. I just want to get it out of the way. Do I sound okay? Choppy, or is it good? Oh, I have to turn off some stuff here. What's up, Adam? I really enjoyed your last vid, man. All right, cool. Awesome. Well, off. These things work best when you turn everything off. All right, cool. All right, so everything's good. Seems like we're ready to go. Welcome to the show. So this video is going to be about, I'm basically going to take a stance, okay? Now, I've done so many videos on this concept of blood over intent, and a lot of people still don't seem to understand where I'm coming from or what my point is. So I'm going to try to wrap up a lot of it in like a Cliff's Notes version and let you know exactly where I stand on this. Not really an interview. I spoke with Quasi-Luminous in a Google Hangout in a chat, and some people appreciated the video, and it seems like a lot of people were confused. So I'm really going to set the record straight. I stand on exactly what I think, and there's going to be no room for any wishy-washy thoughts about, I wonder where JayDreamerZ stands on all this. But before I get into that, I think I'm going to talk about a couple of other things first. Well, one major thing first. I'm going to be talking about Antarctica. I was going to say this for the end of the video, but I want to give everyone like something interesting to think about, just to sort of get the cogwheels running, just to sort of warm us up. So, hello to everyone who's watching. Hello, Darian. Hello, Adam. You're both awesome people. So, Antarctica. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is because sort of related to the blood over intent movement, in that a lot of people are focusing on the North Pole, right? Going to the North Pole and escaping out of the North Pole and things of that nature, which interests me just as much as Antarctica interests me. Because why does Antarctica interest me? Well, on the flat Earth realm, flat Earth map, Antarctica is the barrier that goes around. And I think a lot of flat earthers know this, and a lot of them understand this, and a lot of them talk about this. Sadly, I don't see people getting too critical as to why. Why is Antarctica a big deal? So I'm going to give you some thoughts real quick on why I think Antarctica is a huge deal. Anyway, so I'm going to get right into it. Somebody sent me a link, and I don't know how valid the video is, but I looked up a recent evacuation. Supposedly, somebody in the military has leaked out that they are evacuating all of Antarctica. Like all the civilians, all the people all the personnel who work there right now, supposedly, allegedly, are being evacuated out of Antarctica. They're being told to leave. So I did some quick Googling real quick just to see if I could find anything on it. And along with the video by an unknown person stating that Antarctica is being evacuated, and by all means, if you guys have any info on this, you know, let me know. But along with that, I also saw that a few weeks ago, they really were evacuating Antarctica, at least parts of it, supposedly, allegedly, because of this 30-mile long ice crack, you know, in the ice. And so they're scared that all the observers are going to either fall into the ice crack or float away. I don't really know. I don't understand that. I don't buy the theory. I don't buy the fact that they're telling us that Antarctica is slowly melting and it's breaking off and it's doing all this. I don't see it like that, especially because Antarctica to me goes around our particular flat earth pond or puddle or realm. But what's up to or the Mandela effect, another phenomenon, Texas fan and Leon. So anyways, so Antarctica, right? Supposedly they're evacuating it, but even if they're not, there's a lot of really weird stuff attached to Antarctica. So come on, we need to ask the question, Antarctica so important of a place to the world ruling powers? And all we're taught in school is that, you know, we're basically given this idea that Antarctica is really important because it's the last true wilderness and we need to keep it that way. And we don't want a bunch of littering and you know, all over Antarctica, like they're trying to keep Antarctica fresh, you know, and natural. And then of course there's the big deal about people trying to say that global warming's melting Antarctica or whatever, which I don't buy either. What's up? That spells moon. Anyways, so yeah, even if Antarctica is not being evacuated, which at least in some way it was, I mean, according to the news that I looked up, there was, and I don't know if it's still in effect, but there was a 35-year ban placed on the oceans surrounding Antarctica, the Antarctic Ocean. Yeah, the governments of the land where I live and the land where you live, they all decided that no one is allowed to go even in the waters around Antarctica. And I do that, and it's interesting because the waters, it could be the waters around Antarctica, depending on your perspective, or inside of Antarctica. So I'm really thinking the waters inside of Antarctica. So why in the world would all of our, which I don't even like to call them our governments because they're not mine, for them. I don't know if you guys have seen Monty Python and the Holy Grail, but there's a part where the king's riding by and this peasant is like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "I'm Arthur. I'm your king." And he's like, "I didn't vote for you." Anyways, on a more serious note, and aside from my really lame jokes, why would they want to keep people out of the waters that are inside of the Antarctic ice wall? Why in the world, right? Well, maybe, just maybe, they realized, wow, a lot of people are into this flat earth concept, and they might just start trying to go to Antarctica, right? I mean, anywhere you go, you're going to run into Antarctica as long as you're going south. I think the obvious answer is that they want to keep people away, not because they're trying to, you know, preserve it and get rid of the litter bugs, but because they don't want people to go and find out what's actually there. So that brings me to another note, right? The world leaders recently, even in the news, you guys can Google it, you can YouTube it, you can check it out. It's on the television. World leaders, one after another, have all been visiting Antarctica. for some strange reason. Why go to Antarctica? I mean, you're a world leader. You're a politician. It's Buzz Aldrin or Neil Armstrong, one of those guys, went to Antarctica. Why? Please tell me why in the world it's so important for you to make a trip down to the last wilderness that exists in the freezing cold where there's absolutely nothing to see except snow or ice. Well, I think that there is a reason that they're going down there. There's something to be seen. There's something to be understood. There is something going on. They are participants in something that is being kept a secret from you and from me. There is a secret to Antarctica. I'm not the only person that knows this. Many other people know this. And Hitler knew that there was a secret to Antarctica. Now, think of Antarctica. If you think of Antarctica as a continent at the bottom of the world that everyone forgets about, it seems too important. But when you look at Antarctica as being the barrier that keeps us all in, or the barrier that keeps other things all out, either way, all of a sudden, the pieces start to make a little bit more sense. Why it's so important for these world leaders to go there. Why it's so important for them to declare, you guys need to stay out of the Antarctic Ocean because we're trying to save the fish, which that was their reason. You can look it up. The reason they have declared a 35-year ban on the Antarctic Ocean is because of fish. Like we're running out of fish in the oceans that our realm is mostly made of at this point in time. Please, that sounds so ridiculous. Like, well, I mean, to me, I understand how an average person might not even think twice. But Hitler knew that the Antarctic Ocean was, I mean, not this ocean, the Antarctica, the wall, was important. Why is that wall, why is that barrier important? Well, he had a reason to go down there. Not just himself. It's not like Hitler just took a few guys and rode a boat down there and just like was like, you know, took some selfies next to the 400-foot ice wall and was like, look, guys, we made it. Antarctica, how cool. We can say we've been here. No, it was not a vacation spot. Vacation spot. He took his military down there, defending themselves with weapons and ammunition. They were prepared for something to go down, just in case. And according to official records, something did go down, and they were actually chased out of Antarctica, and they took off. Hitler's entire fleet. Who else thought that Antarctica was worth taking the military down there to run multiple expeditions? The good old, bad old United States of America. That's who. That's right. We looked into Antarctica, coincidentally enough, right after Hitler did, and we decided we're going to send out a scout wall as far as we can go. This scout's name was Admiral Byrd and Company. Admiral Byrd and Company took off over Antarctica. Even though everyone knows what's there, everyone knows it's just ice and snow and there's really nothing to see, why in the world would they waste all of the resources and ammunition and manpower and gas and oil and all the stuff that goes into it? They sent out their scout. Admiral Byrd went all the way out, and he declared that he went beyond the pole, aka beyond the border, right? Beyond the wall, beyond the border. He went beyond the South Pole. He didn't say, I got to the South Pole, to the bottom of the world, and then I just kept going and I, you know, went to the other side. No, he said there was land beyond the South Pole, roughly the size of the United States of America. And after they sent their scout over the wall and outside of our barrier to our realm, all of a sudden the military was more vested and more interested in going down there. They sent ships, they sent aircraft carriers, they sent planes. They themselves were prepared for battle. They themselves went down there prepared to fight. To fight what? To fight who? Who in the world cares about fighting down at the bottom of the world? Well, if there is no bottom of the world, but there's simply a barrier between worlds, then all of a sudden it starts to make sense, at least for me. But anyway, so Admiral Byrd went to Antarctica at some point in Antarctica, and I'll tell you what my guess is. My guess is that he didn't fly over like a landmass, but he flew around looking for cracks, looking for doorways, looking for portals, looking for some sort of entrances. Is that a word? Entrances? Yes. Entrances outside of our realm. That was the scout. And whenever he found certain things, they would send their little expeditions out to the areas where, and they started these projects where they would, like, I think one of them was Project Fishbowl or something. And they literally, this is on record. You can look it up. This is public knowledge. Supposedly nuclear missiles up into the air for some reason. Well, what other reason does a person shoot but to hit something, right? And if you're shooting it up into the air, you're trying to hit something, right? You're trying to destroy something or break something. Maybe they were trying to break through some sort of barrier. Maybe in records, there were giants that live outside of our realm in a place called Jotunheim, or Land of the Giants, where many records indicate that the giants come from. And I mean giants. I don't mean like 12-foot tall David and Goliath, what everyone thinks of as a giant, like a really tall guy. I mean titans, okay? I mean beings that if they entered into our realm would probably stop your heart and scare the hell out of everybody. Beings that would be considered extremely powerful, and you really probably wouldn't want to screw with them. The giants from our myths and our legends, like Jack and the Beanstalk and other stories. Real giants, giants that once existed, giants that may have left all kinds of evidence, including and bones and dead bodies for us today to examine. On that note, I might as well shout out Wise Up, Mud Fossils, and what's the other one? I forgot. I'm sorry, bro, but you know who you are. So anyways, that's my thing on Antarctica, okay? I think that the reason why Antarctica is such a big deal is because it is literally the barrier to our particular realm. And I think that there are other realms outside of our realm. We're not the only realm that there is. And because there's other realms, there's other worlds outside of ours, there's also other beings, other animals, other life forms. We would call them aliens from other worlds outside of our particular realm. Anyways, I want to say what's up to Resonance Creative and Who Dat Guy Jay and Anon I Must Resistance. And yes, Darian, we're still going to check it out. Okay, so real quick, I want to open up the chat to any questions. I know I probably missed a lot of what you guys said. Does anyone, would anyone like my input on this particular topic before I get into the blood over intent? I'm probably going to go off on that subject here for a second. Oh, Texas Fan 01, he says, or she says, one of them, they will say that those beings came from planets, right? Well, if there's other like realms like ours, I would call those planes, and they're small planes. Each one is a small plane, so it's a planet. I've sort of gone into detail about this in a past video, but I might as well re-say it. The word "et" in French is a suffix, and it means small, like figurette, marionette, featurette. It just means a small thing. Cigarette. So a planet is a small plane. It's a little plane. Anyways. Okay. Adam's Truth Journey. Adam, what's up, dude? Adam says, hey, Jay, what's your input on the DNA four-letter God business Quasi is repeating over and over? Good question, and I will get to that actually towards the end, because that's like the last thing on my list of stuff to go off about. But good question. Excellent question. A very relevant question, actually. You know, the popularity of the three major religions. Oh, John Matthews says, have you heard of or read Worlds Beyond the Poles? Yes, I highly recommend checking it out. I have looked into many books that are like that, especially books that talk about the inner earth, which I will be talking about in a minute. But yes, I have not read the entire thing. I've probably read about half of it, because honestly it starts to get really repetitive less than halfway through. But that is a great book. Check it out. Zacharias is in the chat, and he's up at 2:40 in the morning. So what's up to Zacharias? All right, any other questions? Who Dat Guy Jay says, check out New Earth channel. I do check her out every once in a while. Anon Imus Resistance says, I think Quasi is a waste of your time and ours. It must stop. We have other things to consider, like real information. Okay, so while I do agree with you, okay, that other things to consider, that there are other things to talk about, obviously I feel very passionate about this particular topic, okay? The reason I do is not because it's just simply, you know, a few people here and there pricking their finger and just writing a note or whatever. To me, this is deeper. Like I said, what are the implications of the things that we discuss? What are the implications of the things that we talk about? So I want to talk about, I mean, the reason that blood over intent, and this is a good segue into it, but it pretty much, it pisses me off. Like I can't stand, and it keeps getting twisted, and when people talk about it, it keeps getting manipulated and slightly adjusted in order to fit the views of the people who are watching and listening. Basically, it's manipulation, and I can't stand manipulation. I don't like manipulation. I am a seeker of truth. Like, I don't know if you've ever read the book, the Wizard's First Rule. It's right here. But the seeker of truth cannot stand when people manipulate others, and they can't stand it when the truth is manipulated. Anyways, that's the short version. So yes, I'm very not happy about it. Do I play any video games? Dan Wynn. Okay, might as well. No, I don't. I used to play Skyrim a lot, but I don't play video games anymore. I don't play sports anymore. Honestly, I'm too busy thinking about like a lot of stuff lately. Okay. All right, so I'm going to get into it. So first of all, many of you may have seen that I did a hangout with Quasi-Luminous, and that was really misinterpreted by a lot of people, because compared to his aggressiveness and in your face and, you know, like extreme nature, I was seen as very passive and kind of weak. Some people have said the word meek. Like, some people watched that hangout and actually thought that I was endorsing this blood over intent movement, or that I was endorsing Quasi-Luminous's ideas. I'm here to tell you I am not. Absolutely not endorsing it. Now, Quasi says that every time that I do a video about it, I'm advertising for them. I disagree. I'm not advertising. And here's what I've been doing. I've been trying, instead of just coming out and just, you know, meeting the blood over intent movement halfway, and they're saying, do it, it's a good idea, do it. Instead of me coming back and saying, no, don't do it, it's a bad idea. I wanted to reason with people. I wanted people to see the connections, to connect the dots on their own. Sadly, we do not live in a world where the majority of the people can follow a trail of breadcrumbs. They have to be pushed. They have to be ushered. They have to have someone grab them by the hand and pull them and lead them along the way. And then they feel comfortable and safe and happy because someone else is going before them just in case. And that's why I've never really come out and said, like, just don't do it. I'm not going to tell you why I don't want you to do it. So let me make some things very clear. First of all, don't do it. Don't do blood over intent. Now, you have the freedom of choice. You can do it if you so choose to. I'm not saying that bad things will happen to you if you do it, okay? A lot of people have said, you're just trying to scare everyone. You're in fear. You're a fear monger. No, let me make it very clear to everybody. I oppose fear. Fear does not exist. There is no such thing as fear. Fear is our own worst enemy. Fear is all up here. And so the battle is in the mind. Fear is up here in the mind. So how do you fight fear in your own mind? With confidence in what is real, in confidence in truth. Okay? I don't want people to be afraid to do blood over intent. There is absolutely nothing to be afraid of if one is confident in your own position, in your own vibration, in yourself. Have confidence in yourself. Need to even do blood over intent at all. So let me get into some of my notes here. Anyways, I hope I make that very, very clear before I go on, okay? I do not endorse blood over intent. I'm going to tell you why, all right? I'm going to get to the specifics of it right now. To do it, you don't have to do it. There is no threat on your spirit, your energy, your life if you do not do blood over intent. There is no repercussion for not doing it. People have heard me say things like this and they go, oh, well, you don't want people to do anything. You don't want people to take action into their own hands. That's not true either, and I'm going to tell you why. But first, let me point out my first note. Quasi-Luminous and crew, Quasi-Luminous and company, say that blood is the most powerful substance in the universe. And if you watch my hangout with Quasi-Luminous, he didn't answer any of my questions. He responded, changing the subject and dismissing what I had just asked. But blood is not the most powerful substance in the universe, let alone in our realm at all. It's not, okay? The reason people say this is because, oh, without blood, you wouldn't be alive. Well, without water, you wouldn't be alive. Without air, you wouldn't be alive. Some people say without food, you wouldn't be alive. Without electricity, you would not be alive. This garbage of blood's the most powerful substance. That's because people are not using reasoning to think about this, to ask why. Why do you say that? And what goes into that? They just accept it as sounding mythical and magical, just like someone who's up on an altar using their voice to sound as if they have some sort of authority when they have no authority, when they're not allowed to be questioned, when they're not allowed to have people ask them things, to use their reasoning to think outside of the box, basically. I want to say what's up to Gabe Ortega and John Matthews as well. Anyways, so blood is not the most powerful substance. I will tell you my opinion, my thoughts on what is way more powerful than blood, okay? Blood is like the gasoline that runs your body, okay? And there's other elements that go into running your body. That's a physical aspect. Your body is simply a vessel. Your body is a robot. Your body is a boat or a car that you are driving. Well, who is you? You are not your blood. Your blood is not you. Your blood is connected to the DNA, the tiny little micro machines that make up what you look like and some other attributes of the body, okay? The spirit in here is who you are. The spirit that actually goes outside of your body, the energy, the vibration, the frequency that is unique, a unique signature to you. That is who you are. That is what is powerful, not blood, okay? Now, blood is very close to that signature, to that energy, and to that frequency, but blood is simply blood. The only thing unique about blood is that it holds your genetic signature. You to write out a contract and sign it in your blood, because if you sign it with a pen or a pencil, those things can be erased and they can't track it to you. If you sign it in your blood, it can be tracked to you because it carries your body, okay? While you are in your body, I'll say that. Anyways, blood is not the most powerful substance in the universe at all. Nobody has ever given me any kind of reasonings or logic behind why that would even be close to the truth, okay? The only thing people say about that is, oh, it's, you know, you need it to live, and people get scared when they see it. Anyways, I'm not even going to talk about that. Next topic. They say that blood is your spiritual currency. No, blood is not your spiritual currency. You do not spend blood, you know, in order to buy things in the spirit world, okay? You don't drain out your blood and give your blood away in order to purchase things in the energy realm. You know what spiritual currency is? Wow, big surprise, right? Your energy is your energetic currency, okay? It's the law of attraction, which is also the law of giving away, okay? We share energy with one another. You guys can hear it. I'm sharing energy with you right now. Like, my energy is at a particular level, and it's going into your ears, and you're seeing my body language and everything, and you can feel me. You can feel my energy right now. We're sharing energy. That is the real spiritual currency, okay? And people can spend it in various ways. People can very much waste their spiritual currency. People can waste their energy on things. Okay, so anyways, that blood is not spiritual currency. Blood is physical currency, okay? Blood, let me tell you why they say blood is spiritual currency. Because if you cut yourself open, it causes pain, and that pain is related to a vibration and a frequency that is very base and very low. Fear comes about with pain. Pain works at a very low vibration. So that low amount of energy, they give it away to other low energies in the hopes of getting something back. That's how currency works, okay? You don't need to spend low energy, because if you do, you'll get low energy back. It's like attracts like. It's the law of attraction. If you start spending high currency, loving people, caring about people, helping other people out, instead of taking and taking and taking, focus on the energetic, not the physical. If you focus on the physical, that's going to be your currency, is the very low vibrations that make up the physical world. Okay? Anyways, so blood is not the most powerful substance in the universe. Your spiritual currency is your spirit, not your blood. Then Quasi and crew say only the devil hides his intent. What do they mean by that? They mean if you don't write out your intent for people to read and say, look, here's my intentions. Here they are. I'm not hiding them. They're right there. Your intention should not be right here. Your intention should be right here. So how do you prove that your intentions are up here or in here? You don't prove it by writing it down and showing someone, look, I drew a picture of my intentions. No, you prove it by acting it out. You prove your intentions by who you are. You prove your intentions by how you respond. What you do with your energy. That proves what your intent is, because intention must manifest physically. It just does. It's how it works. Your intentions will manifest themselves physically. So you can't hide your intentions. People who are, okay, we'll call the evil powers, right? They try to hide their intentions because they put up a smile, right? They smile and they say a lot of nice things, but then they go behind closed doors and murder babies and plan to take over people and create slavery and things of that nature. That is hiding your intention. Okay, when your life is like hidden away from others, when your real intentions come about, okay, manifest by a word well spoken and a deed well done. Your intentions will come about. It doesn't matter if you tattoo it to your face, all over yourself. You can tattoo the hell out of your body. That doesn't mean that's being produced in your life. You can write it down as much as you want and bleed all over it. That does not make it whatsoever. That is still inert. It's just a note. It's just a contract. It's just a writing. So what's the power in a contract? The power in a contract is that someone else can hold you accountable to what you have promised. That's the power of a contract. And if you notice, some of the main proponents of blood over intent have written down this contract promising all these wonderful things, and not a lot of people are holding them accountable. And I'm telling you what, they didn't make the contract with you, contract with me. They made the contract with those energies, those vibrations that exist at that same level. What level? The lower frequency level. That's who the contract is made with. And it is a contract. Quasi-Luminous himself says that you are calling on spiritual forces, that you're calling on these gods and goddesses. Believe it. That's what he means. Okay? He wants everyone to write a contract with these energetic forces. And remember, like attracts like. You cause pain to produce blood. That's a lower level energy. So what is that going to attract? Lower level energies. Call them gods, call them angels, call them demons, call them whatever you want. That's exactly what it's going to attract. It's not going to attract higher level energetic forces. Anyways, oh, how about this? How about this, right? Here's what everyone is writing out. I intend to bring forth heaven on earth, right? It sounds so wonderful. It sounds so great, but that's it. How many channels out there are begging people to change who they are, to change their energy, to live good people in their local world, and to help the old lady across the street, or to donate to somebody in need, or to really reach out and help? I don't see a whole lot of channels out there promoting this. I see a whole lot of channels out there with the answers. I have the answers. We need to go here. We need to physically do this and cut yourself open. And then here's a shortcut. That's what I see. I see shortcuts all over the place. People get to skip being a good person. People get to skip making an actual vibratory change in their life to a faster, higher level of vibration. Really want to do it. And I think that's really what it boils down to. People want a shortcut. People want a certificate, a diploma, a contract saying, look, I'm approved. Look, I did it. Other people say I'm okay. That's not how it works. How it works on the lower levels. But you prove it yourself. You don't need a diploma. You don't need a certificate. You don't need a contract. You don't need a piece of paper. Who was it in The Wizard of Oz that got the piece of paper, right? It was the Scarecrow. The Scarecrow had no brains, and so somebody approved him and said, I approve that you now have brains. He just got the approval from other people. So, yeah, how many channels are out there talking about heaven on earth, but they're actually saying, hey, check this out. Here's how you can actually change your vibration. Why don't you be a good person, right? I mean, that's really the main thing in like the Bible, or not the Bible, but the New Testament and a lot of other religious writings. They focus on just change who you are. It's really simple. Become a good person. Become less selfish and more selfless. Get rid of the self and go out there and provide for those in need. Like give away instead of taking. Anyways, what else was I going to say? Oh, I want to say hello to Helenim Tellen. So, next up on the list is, emails. Okay, so some of you may have seen like a few videos. If you type in blood over intent and you hit a search, there's a lot of people doing it. And that's why I'm so passionate about it. But I'm going to get to my theory on why I think there's so many people doing it, okay? But I have personally had many emails, many personal messages written to me, many people who are communicating with me saying, thank you, bro, talking out about this. Thank you for telling me about another way, about an easier way, about an alternative way, because I was this close to doing it, but then I started thinking about it. I started asking questions about it. I started thinking critically and using my reasoning to really just meditate on it. And then I decided, you know what? I don't need to do that. I've also had other people reach out to me saying, dude, help me, please. I did blood over intent and now I'm possessed. Now I literally have like demons possessing me in my life. Or, you know, now I'm having bad dreams and now all this horrible stuff's happening to me. I still have those emails and those personal messages where blood over intent has gone way bad. Okay? I'm not saying that is going to happen to you if you do it or if you have done it, but I'm saying that's what's coming back to me. Those are the results that I'm hearing about. Jazz Sinclair. And Jay Analyze, what's up, Jay? And Judith Baz. Anyways, so this is the communication that I'm getting back from real, actual people out there who've done it. So let me talk about pieces of the truth. There are many channels out there, on YouTube in particular, and there's many people that they are able to pick out little grains of truth, little breadcrumbs and little nuggets. But the problem comes when people start getting egotistical and putting their own things into it, and then you have this ritual, which, by the way, it is a ritual. Okay, a ritual doesn't have to be something you do over and over and over again. A ritual is like getting married. Okay, you can do it once. A ritual is fire. A ritual, blood over intent is a rite of passage. It's a rite. It's a ritual. A ritual. That's where that word comes from. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh, pieces of the truth. So yes, Quasi-Luminous does have some pieces of truth. There's some interesting stuff in there, which he himself has picked up from other people here and there, okay? And I'm going to get a little bit more into him in a minute. But just because someone has a piece of the truth does not mean that they are the authority on the subject, all right? I'm not the authority on the subject. Many people come to my channel and they start asking me questions like, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? And usually my response is, well, what do you think of that? You tell me what you think and then come back to me, right? Think about it. Anyways, the next thing I'm going to talk about is the sun, okay? Quasi-luminous stares at the sun and he talks to his God. The sun is his God. He says it straight up and down, very clear as day. Hey, guess what? I worship the sun. That is my God. He is a sun worshiper. Okay? All of these ancient religions all go back, for the most part, to worshiping that skylight. That, I think it's a mechanical thing in the sky. But anyways, that is not God. Okay? It's not God. So, sorry if you're a sun worshiper. I'm telling you right now, that can be your God. That can be what you give your energy to, which is worship. Give any of my energy to this thing that flies around above us. Not to mention, all right, if you want to look at the sun as being this benevolent blessing above us, this spiritual God-like thing that people revere, very critically about what the heck it actually is, where it came from, and where it's going to go. The Bible itself, where Quasi-Luminous gets a lot of his background, because apparently he has a background of being a Christian and stuff like that, which so do I, okay? But he worships the sun, along with many other people. Let me tell you something that's a fact. In the Bible, it says, going to destroy this realm in the future, word for word. Okay, maybe not word for word, but that's what it says on many occasions throughout the Bible, especially in the book of Revelation and 3 Peter, I think it is. The sun is going to destroy this world. It's going to burn everything up. So I'm not about to worship the destroyer of this realm, okay? I don't have these hippie feelings about the sun. I'm not about to start sun gazing and staring at it because it makes me feel better, because it produces D vitamins in my body that actually make me feel better because my skin comes in contact with it. And it's not just the sun that does that, okay? It's ultraviolet light, okay? It can come from any source. Ultraviolet light, when contacting with the skin, produces D vitamins, which naturally makes you feel better because you're chock full of vitamins all of a sudden. But anyways, Quasi-Luminous is a sun worshiper. He worships the sun itself, the thing that goes around your head. That is his God, okay? And he was staring at his God one day and all of a sudden heard a voice that he needs to write something down. Sound familiar? I mean, does this sound anything like, you know, some stories you've heard about past? Islam, what's that one where they knock on your door? I forgot. Anyways, Jehovah's Witnesses, or not that one. Anyways, all right, so let me get back on track here. And there's a lot of people in the chat, so I'm just going to say what's up to everybody. What else? What's next? Oh, let me tell you about the paradox of blood over intent, okay? Blood over intent has a serious paradox to it. People are being instructed. If you want to live forever, you need to write this out. This sounds so ridiculous, right? If you want to live forever, you need to write this following sentence down. I intend to bring forth heaven on earth. Think about that. On earth. Quasi-Luminous says, I intend to bring forth heaven on earth. But I'm leaving everybody in a couple of years because I'm going to jump into the hole and fall into another dimension. That's not bringing forth heaven on earth, okay? Regardless, if he's trying to get everyone to take off through the quote-unquote exit hole at the North Pole, you're still not bringing forth heaven on earth. You're bringing forth emptiness on earth, okay? What does the Bible say in the beginning? The earth was formless beginning, right? So you cannot bring forth heaven on this realm and then encourage, you know, by encouraging everyone to just leave. Well, I guess it would be heavenly if there's no one here. That makes no sense. That's a paradox, okay? The reality is, heaven is this concept. First of all, heaven's one of these hippie words, one of these fanciful, nice sounding words that we use to describe something that we like. And when I say we like it, I mean we are like it. Okay, that's what you mean, and that's what I mean when I say I like that. What you really mean is I am like that. Okay? So if you want to bring forth heaven, first of all, we have to start thinking about what is this person's definition of this state of being called heaven. Well, Quasi gets a lot of his info from the Bible. Let me tell you what the Bible says about heaven. Jesus, last I checked, Jesus Christ is the main character, right? For the most part, he's the guy in the Bible. Okay, it's so interesting. It's always been so interesting to me, people who claim to follow Jesus but don't actually listen to a damn word he says. Okay, Jesus in the Bible says heaven, the kingdom of heaven is inside of you. Jesus doesn't say heaven's at the North Pole, all compasses point to it. You know, I have the spear of destiny, follow me. Jesus doesn't say that. Jesus comes out and says, look, everyone, you are energetic beings and we're all connected. The kingdom of heaven is inside of you. And I say this because you are connected with everything. There is no separation. Anyways, for more on that concept, please do see my video series about the law of one and universal laws. Anyways, who else is in the chat? Residence Creative. What's up, Residence? I'm really sorry, guys. At this point, I'm really not reading like what's in the chat. I will when we're done. I promise. I'll jump in with you guys. But I want to I got to get this stuff off my chest. Isn't that interesting? We say we have to get it off of our chest, right? Because it's in here, right? And it needs to go out, right? Anyways, let me talk about inner earth writings, okay? So Devin Madge, Quasi-Luminous, a couple other people. I really don't want to shout out some people, but a few people have used this whole going to the North Pole and jumping into the bottomless pit in order to end up with the black sun and end up in another dimension and escape all that stuff. They use these writings. Men have talked about going into the North Pole, so maybe that's a thing. There are many writings about it. Now, let me tell you what those writings and those stories do not say. First of all, none of those stories start off with, well, one day I was staring at the sun and I decided to cut myself wide open and the sun told me I need to go to the center of the earth and jump in. No, none of those stories start off like that. None of them end like that. None of those people from the stories I've read the center of the earth and live forever. Okay? A lot of them have gone into the center of the earth, seen amazing different beings and crazy animals and crazy plant life, and they describe it as being like a very peaceful place and a sort of, you know, paradise. But guess what? From what I can tell, they all died, okay? They didn't go there and get eternal life and jump into another dimension or anything like that. That's my own research, okay? And if you guys know of anything that shows otherwise, feel free to leave it in the comments. Let me know where you read a story of someone went into the inner earth and lived forever because they jumped into another dimension to exit the computer system. All right, I've never read that in any of the accounts of any inner earth. As a matter of fact, one of the most famous stories, was I just doing that? I was, wasn't I? Something like that. Anyways, it's just how I was holding my pen, I swear, okay? Chill out. One of my favorite stories about the inner earth is the Epic of Gilgamesh, which happens to be one of the oldest writings that has ever really been found. And this is a story about a man who was part God, and he realized because he's part human that he's mortal and one day he's going to die. So he actually goes into the earth and he talks with the people who are in charge inside of the earth, and he's like begging them, please, I don't want to die. I want to live forever. I want to be a god, etc., etc. And they're like, you know what their answer was? Sorry, sucks for you. Like, you're mortal. You're going to die one day. But there is a way that you can extend your life and prolong it, you know, to live longer. not to live eternally, but to live longer. So he ends up going on this quest into the inner earth, right? And he tries to get like this magical plant or fruit that he's supposed to eat that's going to give him better health to live longer. That he lives forever, does not say that he would live forever, none of that. And it doesn't talk about any of that. Anyways, I'm rambling, so let me get back on track. Oh, FE matters or not. What's up, dude? It's a good dude. What else? Oh, let me tell you what else. Okay, so why are so many people jumping on to this blood over intent thing? Okay, let me tell you my speculation. First of all, there are a lot of reasonable, I don't want to say educated, but reasonable people out there who and free enough to use their intellect and their ability to reason, who have stayed away from blood over intent because they realize there's no need for me to participate. There's no need for me to do that. I can just be a better person because I choose to be. I can go out and start changing the world on a small scale in my little area. And if enough people start doing that, we can actually have a literal heavenly paradise here on earth. If each person, bit by bit, starts making that change, not by taking off. But anyways, like attracts like. Quasi-luminous is the main proponent of blood over intent. What is he like? Because whatever he is like, he's going to attract like. Do you see what I'm saying? So when you see quasi-luminous point his finger at you, degrading you, calling you all kinds of insults and horrible names, and banishing you from the heavenly world, and threatening you if you don't follow him and do what he's doing, going to be like that. What kind of people are going to enjoy that and be like, yeah, me too. That's how I feel. They have the same vibration. They have the same energy. And so like is attracting like. Do you see what I mean? So if you see a lot of his followers and you see a lot of people in the blood over intent, now that's not to say all of them are this way, because many people are backing out of that and saying, you know what, that's stupid. I realized I was wrong. I realized that that's not going to get me anywhere. And it's not going to get the world anywhere. About the main proponents, okay? A lot of them speak similarly, okay? So you'll notice them leaving comments, not just on my page, but anywhere where people talk about blood over intent. And you will see little mini quasi-luminuses acting holier than thou, or using passive-aggressive tactics to brush off the actual facts that people are saying. People are questioning it and saying, hey, well, what about this? Well, how do you explain this? And these people laugh it off, or they call names, or they make threats. Like attracts like. So that's why you see so many people doing it. Not only that, but there is an emptiness out there within many people. And they've had it for a very long time. This is why religion is so popular. Because people have this emptiness inside of them. They have this void that they want filled. Well, that's a distraction, first of all. It's not true, secondly. And it's just a part of the illusion. There is no emptiness inside of you. There's only that veil put over your core. Recognize yourself. You don't recognize who you are or what you really are. There's this constant need for approval. There's this constant need for other people to tell you who you are, instead of simply realizing what Jesus said in the New Testament, that the kingdom of heaven is inside of you. Even the Illuminati know this. They say, know thyself. That's the old Gnostic teaching. Know thyself. Know who you are. Know what you are. And the more you realize who you are, the more you'll see yourself everywhere else you look. And you'll realize, wow, I shall not want. I do not lack. There is nothing that I need. I have everything already. Anyways, so back to Quasi-Luminous, right? So he's in your face and he's calling you names and he's saying, I am Satan. And so many people brush this off and they're saying, oh, he's trying to set a fire under your butt, you know? He's just trying to really get you worked up so that you do something about it. That's amazing that that works for some people, because that does not work for me, and that doesn't work for a lot of you either. So, you know, some people have talked about Quasi's, you know, they speculate on why is he so crazy, or why is he out there? Why is he in your face? Why does he curse and do all this other stuff? Well, I'm just going to give you a little hint. Okay? Quasi-Luminous used to have multiple YouTube accounts under different names. And doing simple internet searches, okay, I have found many times where he has made the comments that he's pissed off at YouTube back before he stumbled upon Flat Earth, because YouTube took many of his videos down and eventually shut down his page. The reason is because it's basically being too grotesque, I'll say, too in your face about certain subjects. Now, he used to make a lot of police videos, you know, like recording the police and egging on the police because it got views. All right, this was what was popular. In my opinion, to become a famous YouTuber and make money off of YouTube by getting as many views as possible. Now, this is not speculation on my part. This is what he says in certain threads that I've read under his alias, all right, in different comment sections on the internet back before YouTube was really that popular. And he says things like, I was making thousands of dollars and YouTube took my page down, you know. But why did they take his page down? Because he wasn't putting up videos about how to be a better person. Video, and I asked him and he would not respond. He kept calling me names and, you know, changing the subject and dismissing my question on Skype. I said, dude, what's up with this? Everyone's saying that you used to put up this video called How to Kill Yourself, where you're in your own house making a noose, taking down light bulbs, hanging it up, and teaching people how to kick out the chair properly. That's who you want to follow? Now, don't get me wrong. Everyone is capable of change. But like attracts like, okay? I'm seeing the same thing in the same person. It's just got little bits and nuggets of truth here and there in order to entice people. Now, I also found that he did a video. I don't know if you guys have heard of the 2 girls and 1 cup video, okay? Really disgusting video. But allegedly, he did a video of animation of Barbie dolls, like stop motion animation of them acting out that video, which I've never seen the video, but trust me, I've heard enough about it that I don't want to see it. Anyways, like attracts like, okay? Now, he might be passionate. He might truly believe, self open and bleeding all over the place. Now, personally, I think this comes from 2 things. One, he's posting all these videos because obviously he's got 40-something thousand followers. People are watching these videos, so he's going to snip it and add and post, you know, 30 videos a day. And this is not new. This is what he's always done. And according to him, it's because he's making thousands of dollars doing it. Okay? Nothing wrong with that. I mean, I have ads on mine. Like, there's nothing wrong with putting ads and monetizing and all that stuff. But there is something wrong, in my opinion, whenever that's all you care about. Okay? And in my personal opinion, I don't think he's going to go to the North Pole. I don't see it happening. I'm not convinced by the body language. It seems like, if you've ever seen, there's a quote out there from a movie where the guy says, are you going to bark all day, little doggy, or are you going to bite? Okay? I see Quasi as being somebody that barks all day about going to the North Pole. Okay? He's going to go there. He's going to go there, and everyone's going to go with him. Okay? I don't see all these people who are writing out blood contracts and spilling their blood on it. I don't see them making videos saying, yeah, I can't wait to go to the North Pole. I'm excited. Let's do it. No, I don't. Because it sounds fanciful. And believe it or not, this whole blood over intent community is divided about what is what. They don't agree on what the whole purpose behind it is. Quasi-Luminous says that it's a coupon to heaven. in order to get you into the hole, the frost bridge you cross over to dive into oblivion, basically. Anyway, so I'm almost done, and then I'm going to jump in the chat and chat with everybody. What else? Oh, so is he going to the North Pole? I very much doubt it. Would I love to see him prove it? Yes, I would. Would I love to see a mass exodus of people just going to the North Pole to just say, hey, you know what? We think there's something there. We want to go check it out. I support that. I think everyone should go check out stuff for themselves, test things out for themselves. That's something I plan on doing. So all the power to you if you do it. I don't see him doing it, honestly, because he's really all about sitting on the couch from the comfort of home, tell everyone else to go jump off the middle of the earth. Anyways, but we'll see. Maybe he'll prove me wrong. Maybe he'll bring back a video and show us what's there. That would be awesome. I say go for it. Last thing, like I talk about, and Adam, you actually brought this question up earlier. Rob Dizzle's in the chat. What's up, Rob Dizzle? What'd you miss? You missed a lot, dude. So sorry, buddy. But anyways, Adam brought up, you know, Yahweh, the four-faced, four-letter God. Now, I am talking about this from somebody who has years and years, probably since 2002. I'm just guessing. But since 2002, the Bible and Christianity has been something I have studied, participated in at times, looked into, and delved deep into this level teachings and the deeper teachings, the esoteric, the hidden, the taboo teachings, the mysteries of Christianity and the Bible. And I've done a little series on it too. My series was very wishy-washy, I'm going to say. It's called Unraveling the Bible. And I try to really touch on some points with the purpose of not really offending people, because I know people will get offended. So, why does Quasi-Luminous worship the four-faced, four-letter God, Yahweh, YHWH, Yod-He, Vav-He, Yahovah, Jehovah, many names for this God, the nameless God, Hashem, call him whatever you want to. This is the God of the Old Testament. This is the bloodlust God that demands that animals be ripped open and their blood be spilt out for his enjoyment. This is the God that commanded, go kill, go murder. This is the God that himself hired his own angels to go out and murder hundreds of thousands of people for their blood. Their blood, to spill the animal blood. And while I'm on this subject, I just want to correct some people out there, okay? If you've seen my video about blood over intent where there's a little whiteboard in the background, okay? I brought up the example of Cain and Abel and how Yahweh loved this sacrifice. I'm not talking about Cain killing Abel, although I could speculate all day about that based on Yahweh's track record, okay? But I'm talking about Cain brought veggies and said, hey, here's some veggies. And Abel went out and yes, he killed an animal, okay? Do not come at me and do not speculate saying, oh no, the animal, it doesn't say he killed it. I'm sure that animal was alive. The animal is not alive, okay? That's not how the Hebrews worked. That's not how it worked. As a matter of fact, the only animal that was ever allowed to live during an animal sacrifice, a blood sacrifice, was the goat of Azazel, aka the devil. Okay, that goat, they would magically transfer their evil upon that goat, and they would let that goat walk around and live. They just kick it outside of the camp. The other goat, the one that represented Jesus and Yahweh, guess what they did? Murdered it, killed this goat, okay, for the people on their behalf in order to bring forth a better way of life. In order to bring forth peace, they murdered this innocent animal. The other animal that they transferred all their freaking evil onto, they just let it go. That's where we get our word scapegoat from. That's the goat that escaped, the goat that was to blame. They let it go. This is their Yahweh, okay? As a matter of fact, right after Moses reads the 10 Commandments, it says that then Moses retreated into the darkness where Yahweh was. Yahweh is not a God of light, darkness. Yahweh is represented by the four-faced four letters and, believe it or not, the black cube. Okay? Now, a lot of people give me, okay, dude, first of all, if you're a Christian and you disagree, comments like, oh yeah, well, Yahweh's awesome, so if you don't love Yahweh, then you're a Satan worshiper. Please, I'm open to intellectual conversation. I'm open to reasoning. I'm open to discussing things. What I'm not open to is people just backing into a corner and getting all upset because someone's challenging their beliefs, okay? If you feel that way, just keep it to yourself, and I wish you the best, basically. But what are my thoughts? Who is Yahweh? I think Yahweh is a seriously bad dude, okay? Might be Enki. I'm not sure. I'm sort of wondering if Yahweh is Enki from the Anunnaki. And I wonder if Enki at some point, because he was a seriously bad dude, knew that people were going to kill him, and so he had his consciousness transferred into what we call a supercomputer or a black cube, until the day would come where he could transfer it out of that black cube and into some kind of a body, maybe a giant. But anyways, that's just speculation on my part. So, to wrap it up, don't do blood over intent, okay? And if you are doing blood over intent, you have the option to just forget about it, okay? You're not going to be held to some contract or whatever, okay? Raise your vibrational state, okay? Vibration that's going to be held to any kind of a standard. Raise your vibrational state and you become invisible. Literally, you become literally invisible. Maybe not physically like your body, okay? But you become unnoticed by these beings that are down here because they see down here. This is their realm of perspective. They see what's going on in their realm, in their vibrational state, in their dimension. They can only see in their dimension and the dimensions that are really close to them. That's why I believe that the powers of the world, the ones who are ruling over us, they want to lower our vibes on this realm in order to bring their dimension closer to our dimension. Anyways, hey, Verdeline Black is in the chat room. What's up, Verdeline? All right, guys. Thank you so much for letting me talk about all that stuff. You guys have been busy in the chat room talking about some awesome stuff. Man, there's 30 people watching right now. No pressure. Really, I don't feel pressure. And by the way, okay, I'm gonna mention this. Okay, we're done talking about all the other stuff. So if you just wanted to hear blood over intent, you can leave now because I'm kind of done. Unless the chat guys, unless people in chat want to talk about it. Heather Thunderhawk, what's up? I did want to mention this whole basketball. What is that dude's name? The guy that mentioned that he thinks the Earth is flat or whatever. Me, Suso, Anthony, ODD, Aquarius, Colorado. A lot of us got together in Denver this weekend, and we talked about a lot of different stuff. And I'll probably post some cool videos just to share some of our fun, because we had a lot of fun hanging out with you guys. But some of the stuff we talked about, was current topics and stuff like that. And we talked about these celebrities that are coming out saying the Earth is flat, and like it's candy. Like, this is eye candy on the television, and people speculate, it's bad or whatever. First of all, nobody is better than you. Celebrities do not hold some sort of better status. They're not to be believed just because they're popular, okay? I've never been starstruck. I could care less if Michael Jordan said he thinks the Earth is flat, or Obama, or anybody else. It does not matter. Each person will receive the information at the due time, whatever information it may be, and they will awaken on their own. JayDreamerZ is not responsible for waking anybody up, okay? I'm not responsible for waking you up. I'm not trying to wake people up. People wake up when they're ready to wake up. That's how you do it every morning, right? And if someone else wakes you up and you're not ready, you can be grouchy and irritable, right? Anyway, so I could care less what basketball star thinks the earth is flat. I could care less what famous scientist thinks that the earth is round. Interesting topics to gossip about, sure, I guess so, you know, to each his own. But who's the important people in this world? You are. You're the important person in this world. You get to talk to people and you communicate and you have a interaction and connection with so many people in your own little realm. So you get to influence those people by just being a light, just being a bright light, and then guess what? They'll see you. I promise they will. All right, sorry, I just want to talk about that. All right, so what's up, everybody? I'm in the chat now. I'm in. Let me type it out here for you guys. Oh, that's capitals. Sorry. In the chat. Pow. Anyways, what's up, everybody? What's on you guys' mind? How is everyone tonight? Rob Dizzle, what's up, man? I loved having that chat with you that one time. We should do it again. Anthony, me and Anthony, we hung out this weekend. It was great. I'm going to post some videos for you guys. Hopefully, Aquarius, Colorado will post a video of me and ODD having a Pac-Man tournament. Okay, I'm sure everyone's going to go nuts with the Pac-Man symbolism, but it was a good time. Heather, how are you? What do I think about the angelic beings I see in your picture? I'm not sure what to think, honestly. I think it's interesting. I really haven't put a lot of thought into it. I don't know much about that, and I would like to hear more of your thoughts on what you think those are. And I'm sorry, there's a lot of people's videos that I don't catch as many videos as I used to. So if I don't see everyone's videos, like all of them and stuff, I just want to apologize. You know, like I do catch up on as many as I can, and I comment it. All right, so who that guy Jay says, so JayDreamerZ, you know about the serpent seed, biblically speaking? Sure, yes, I do. I mean, okay, if it's in the Bible, I probably know about it, okay? I'm telling you, I've studied, I know everything about the Bible. But when it comes to Christianity, a lot of Judaism and the Abrahamic religions, yes, I've done extensive studies on much of that. I mean, I've read a lot, a whole lot, and taken volumes of notes. Wait, what was that comment? I missed it. Oh, shoot. Man, there's a lot of people chatting tonight. There's 37 people watching. Okay, come on. I'm not that popular. You guys are all bored. I'm just kidding. I'm just playing. So anyways, yes. Okay, so I'm going to put this out there just for you guys to think about. There's not a lot of channels talking about elves, as in like elves are actually real. And I'm definitely not saying I'm like the only channel that talks about it, but I think that's something that we should really consider. Truth and fiction, I think that we really should consider the elven people as being real. We now call a lot of them reptilian. And I think that that's where the reptilians come from. I think that's where that whole race of beings come from. Just wanted to say, hey, so, hey, what's up, Shelby? All right, what else? Oh, so he says, who that guy Jay says, yeah, I want to know if the line of Cain is real as well. I'm not sure. Honestly, a lot of those names in the Bible, those were labels that were given to people later on. Okay, that may not have even been their real name. But as far as there being splits and offshoots in bloodlines, yes, absolutely. There are splits and there are offshoots. There are people who chose, saw some of my older videos, but I talk about the priests of Baal or Baal. The priests of Baal separated from the priests of the law of one. Okay, they literally created separation, and in like quote unquote bloodline that split. So yeah, I think we should definitely check out the concept of elves and things like that. Not just elves, okay? Because a lot of stories tell us that the elves actually took off because they were getting tired with mankind. Mankind was like just basically, so a lot of them took boats and left to the far reaches beyond Antarctica into other realms, as did the giants, in my opinion. Okay, a lot of the giants perished, okay, time out. When I talk about giants, usually when I'm talking about the giants that terraformed our world, I personally speculate that the world was literally flat. No mountains, no caverns, no anything. And then there were these titanic beings that terraformed and came and literally like made this realm. Now, did they make it, for us, or did they make it because they were taking material out into their realm to create giant buildings and whatever stuff the giants have? I mean, think about this. When you think about the titans of old, don't you think about them wearing clothing? They make their clothing. The titans of old had needs too. The titans of old had stuff that I'm sure that they would build. If they build things, that means they needed material to build with. Our realm is full of examples where our realm has been scraped out. Our materials have been taken away. And I think people say, well, where did it go? I think it went beyond Antarctica into Jotunheim, the land of the giants. And Gulliver's Travels is a prime example of a story of a man who sailed across the sea and ended up in the land of the giants. Okay, he also ended up in a land where there was little tiny people, and he was the giant. But anyways, I think there's a lot of truth to those stories. Adam says, what's up with all the trolls? And he's talking about literal, actual trolls. I think trolls are some of the sons of the Titans, the actual giants of old. And the myth is that the trolls became rock, right? They were exposed to the sun or to the light, quote unquote, and they became rock. You definitely need to check out, man, what's that dude's channel? I forgot. I'm so upset right now. I can't think of his channel. But anyway, check out Wise Up. Check out Mud Fossils. I don't 100% think that they're absolutely right, but basically they have some really good ideas that our ancient realm was full of these titans and giants and other creatures, and there were wars going on, right, between all these various races, and there was a lot of morality questions, and things were just getting horrible and destroyed, and the giant trees were torn down. So somebody decided to flood our realm. Somebody decided to flood our plane, okay? It may be, okay, and I don't know the exact science behind it, but those two channels do a really good job of explaining it. It may be that once all this water came into being and all of those ancient titans and giant creatures and giant trees and other things sank down, all of that water pressure and salt water in particular, right? All that saltwater pressure did something to basically turn these beings into stone. Not just the beings, but the ancient machines of old. I mean, Wise Up does a really great job in his channel of showing you where in these ancient rock structures where people think that they were carved out of the rock, that they're not carved out of rock, that they're actual like machines. And he shows you where the rebar is, where like they put these things together in the ancient times. Job of talking about that. So were trolls silicon based? Probably. I think so. I think because their bodies were based on silica or silicon, that they reacted poorly with the water, the massive amount of water that was introduced to our realm. And I mean, our realm, you could just look at the oceans, look at a map, look at even a globe, and you see all this water. That doesn't belong there. We're not creatures of water, are we? I mean, the only thing that's in the water is like fish and sharks and, you know, some other stuff, right? They live in the water. We're creatures of land. This is our realm. We should have more land than we have water, but we don't, which tells me this place was flooded out. There was a cataclysm. Old tore down these giant trees, okay? And they literally carved out our world. You can look on Google Earth, you zoom into the oceans, and you can see the track marks left by giant machines as they scraped out our world. And anyways, what else is in the chat? Oh my God, Anthony. Okay, Anthony is dying to know how many people were in the car when JFK was murdered. I don't know. I really don't. 6. That's my guess. God, dude, you bust me up. Kazmij is in the chat. What's up, Kazmij? Who else? Pick my brain. I'm open. I'm open. I'm ready. I'm gonna stay in the chat for a little while longer. It's time to chat. What's on you guys' mind? What would you like to know my thoughts on? I am by no means the expert on anything. I am by no means anybody's leader, okay, or guru or anything like that. I'm just a regular person just like you. I'm on a path and as brightly as I can. And I'm looking for other people who are shining bright. You know why? Because it makes me smile. It makes me feel happy when I see other lights out there shining brightly. Who that guy says, JayDreamerZ, do you know about the lymph system? I don't. I honestly have no idea what you're talking about. But I'm all ears. And it's definitely Berenstein, okay? Not Berenstain. That's ridiculous. That's crazy. My favorite color, okay? Green is my favorite color. I like green because it's kind of a nature color. Chloe J lives in Holland. Hello, Chloe J. It's very nice to meet you. It's awesome to speak to someone who lives in Holland. I've always wanted to go there. Okay, so Resonance wants to know, what are my personal Mandela effects that just blow my mind, okay? There's really only one. That one is the Berenstein Bears. I'm sorry, but that's what it is. I am a word addict. I love words and spelling, and I have since I was a kid. I learned I before E except after C, and I remember that word right because it was so difficult. I would have had no difficulty in pronouncing the word stain, S-T-A-I-N. I understand that word. I know exactly how it's pronounced. I also knew how it was pronounced when I was a kid. That's not how it was pronounced when I was a kid. So that's my one. Rob Dizzle's in Florida. So, hey, what's up to Florida? Missouri. Interesting. How very interesting. Chick-fil-A, JCPenney, interesting. Okay, so aside from the Mandela effect, does anyone have any thoughts on ancient realms? I'm pretty much done talking about blood over intent for the night, but sorry, Adam, I just saw your thing. Adam's Truth Journey. Oh, by the way, I want to shout out Adam. Everyone, please do check out Adam's channel, Adam's Truth Journey. Great insight. And not only that, but a very, very good vibe from Adam. He says, I hate to beat a dead horse, but I noticed Quasi put emphasis on blood quantity. People could die from this. Yes, absolutely. So, I mean, the blood is meant to stay inside of your body, right? Even when your blood comes out, it naturally seals it up. Like, oh my gosh, stay in there, you know? Anyways, please answer my question. I'm sorry, Shelby. Can you please ask me your question again? Because the chat is going like super fast. This is crazy. I've never seen the chat room go so fast. What's my biggest fear? Rob Dizzle wants to know. Rob Dizzle. Nothing. I don't have fear. Okay? I used to be afraid of all kinds of stuff, like aliens and cobras and stuff like that. But I don't have fear. Oh, what's my greatest fear? Oh, apparently this was Shelby's question. So, I don't have fear, okay? Anything. I really don't. Like, I can get startled from time to time. I mean, if someone sneaks up on behind me and goes, bah, you know, that probably will freak me out for a second. But I don't have like an ongoing fear of anything because I have an understanding that I'm one, that we're all connected, and I'm excited to be who I am, where I am. I'm excited to be in this particular body right now at this particular time when the pendulum is swaying and we're about to sway right back into the good times. Okay? I'm excited. I don't fear anything. I don't even fear the sun falling down from the sky and burning up a third of the world. That does not fear me because there is no death. When you understand that you can't die, that the energy, the unique vibratory signature that is you cannot die, fear, because we've been instilled in this fear of death forever. So, I mean, realize. And if you want to know more on that, please check out my Universal Laws series where I talk about, you know, there's no death. Oh man, I missed your comment on the lymph. I'm not sure how to pronounce that lymph thingy. I'm kind of blown away. Okay, I want to have a moment of like humbleness. Wait, first I want to address John Matthews. John says danger is real, fear is a waste of time. Awesome, excellent quote. And there's actually a Will Smith movie about that I really liked, but I don't know the name of it. So moment of humbleness, okay? All of you watching, all of you guys in the chat right now, and especially Darian and Jace, especially you two. I want to tell you all thank you. I appreciate that I've connected with so many people. I love that I have this platform to share, right? Not to teach, not to instruct, but just to share. You know what I mean? Because we're all constantly growing. Energy is constantly growing and evolving and getting better and better and better. And I'm just sharing, making friends with you guys. I love getting to know you guys, the good, the bad, and the ugly. You know? I mean, I love it. I love that there's so many people that view me. I mean, you're watching me, which is weird. I would say my channel, but I mean, how cool? How cool is it that, you know, like you guys listen to what I'm saying? And I listen to what you guys say. I read all your comments for the most part. I try to read every single comment. I try to respond to as many as I can as well. And I'm meeting cool people in person, like the Mandela effect, another phenomenon, like Aquarius, Colorado, like ODD, like Flat Earth Friends. I'm meeting these people, and I just want to put this out there. They're going to have a Flat Earth like symposium or something like that on the East Coast, and I don't remember when it is, but I haven't like officially been invited, and I guess they already have speakers, but I might go. I might check it out. I don't know. I'm going to think about it, but I would love to do that. I would love to meet up with a lot of like-minded people. It doesn't matter if they're flat earthers or not. I mean, flat earthers a bonus because I think that's cool, but I just appreciate anyone that thinks outside of the box. And let me be very clear what I mean when I say think outside of the box. I don't mean people who have nosedived into the rabbit hole and have no grounding. They haven't grounded themselves. They haven't grounded themselves. I just now thought of that. Like, I could put up like a rabbit hole on my green screen back here, and I could do some cool stuff. I wonder when someone's going to realize that they can do that as well. Yeah, so there's some hit piece videos out there about JayDreamerZ. They're actually quite interesting. But anyways, my point was, I love just thinking, I love meeting people who, one, vibrate at the same level that I do. I love seeing those other lights along the paths, you know? I mean, because when you guys let your light shine, no matter how far your path is away from mine, I can still see you. And you guys bring me comfort knowing that you're just right over there. You know what I mean? And what's even cooler is whenever our paths cross or our paths meet, or we walk along the path together sometimes, like, you know, the Wizard of Oz, like that all their paths met and they got to travel together for a little while. So yeah, I'm humbled. I love it. I mean, like, a lot of you guys I consider to be like close friends, even though I've never met you. You know, and hopefully someday I will. I'm already starting to meet a lot of cool people. Anyways, anything else? Because I think I'm going to wrap it up. Oh, Derek Griffin says, do you believe in straw man or legal fiction character? And what's your life after death opinion? Okay, wow, two things. Okay, so I don't know what the straw man is. I really don't want to get all into that. That's a lot of time explaining that. But basically, we live according world are set up according to the laws of the ocean. Being on a boat and listening to what the captain, the owner of the boat, says about his vessel. Okay? I was talking to Aquarius, Colorado about this, and we live in a pretend ocean. All of the land that you see right now, they have us convinced that it's really water, that we live in the ocean. This is their law. This is their magic spell that they've cast out. It's not real. You don't really live on the water, but they make us abide by these laws that are maritime laws, okay? So there is a movement out there of people who believe that, you know, you can reclaim your identity and you can exit out of that legal fiction that is your straw man. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm sorry, but I'm out there about it. And the thing that I don't get is that a lot of these people, they, in order to escape, right, being seen as a slave under maritime law or the laws of the ocean, they like make an agreement with the powers that be, you know, you leave me alone, I'll leave you alone. But making that agreement is a contract, and the laws of the ocean are contractual. Okay, now we're getting back into what my video is about. The laws of the ocean are contractual. When you write out a contract and you say, I agree to give this for this in return. Anyways, those are the laws of the ocean. The laws of the land, natural law, simply says, guess what? You're a king of this world. Everyone, all of us, we all inherit this. We're all equal. There is no king. There is no president. There is nobody better. There is nobody who has the right to tell you how to live your life, how to feel, what to do, where to stop, where to go, what to pay on, what to pay taxes on. All that stuff is fiction. It's not real. But they have us convinced that it's real. So I don't believe in, you know, jumping through legal hoops in order to free myself from that. I think that one day people will simply start waking up and they'll just say, that's what I think people are going to do. I think people are just going to say, no. They'll just ignore it. They'll ignore the laws. They'll ignore the commands. They'll ignore the statutes and the regulations, and they will live according to, right? It's even mentioned in the Bible. It says that one day the quote-unquote laws of God will be written on the hearts of the people, right? We will have no need to write down our intentions. We'll have no need to write down what other people should abide by. You need to stop at this sign. Okay. Well, Common sense would tell you when you're driving down the road, when you come to a crossroads, you know, it's a good idea to make sure no one runs you over, right? Anyways, I think that people will simply just say no. They'll say, nah, I'm good. No, thank you. You know, pay your taxes. Nah, I'm good. I don't think I'll do that today. Or have you guys ever seen the movie Tombstone? It's exactly like that part where the sheriff comes out and he's yelling at Wyatt Earp and he's like, ah, and he's like, you're under arrest. And Wyatt Earp just squints and he looks at him and he says, I don't think I'll let you arrest us today. That was it. That was that. I don't think I'll let you arrest us today. And I think that one of these days you're going to see a lot of people all right around the same time. One of the universal laws, it's the law of amplification of energy, exponential amplification of energy. When we all start getting on the same page, one day it's going to be like an explosion. Everyone, we won't even need to resist. We will just go about living our lives. Now, resistance comes from what we're taught about separation. But once we start realizing there is no separation, there's no need to resist. We just simply go about living our lives. Now, that's a whole nother topic, so I'm not going to go down that. But anyways, what else? Let's see here. All right. So, yes, you're very welcome, Derek. I'm glad I didn't really answer your question, but I did respond to it, letting you know what my thoughts were. And what else? Oh, if anybody wants to Skype me, I have Skype. Okay, I put it on my computer, so feel free to type in JayDreamerZ and Skype me. And I'm not on there a lot, okay? But from time to time, when I have time, I will jump on and, you know, chat with some of my closer people. So if you guys want to pick my brain, feel free to Skype me. I've never told people I have Skype, so if I get a lot of them, I don't know how much I'll be able to talk, but I do have Skype. All right, so is that it? I think it's a good time to wrap things up. And I like singing this song when I wrap things up. And I don't know if you guys know what song this is. I want to see if someone knows what song I'm about to sing. Who can put it first in the chat? All right, so songs to wrap up goes like this. It's such a good feeling to know you're alive. It's such a happy feeling. You're growing inside, and when you wake up ready to say, I think I'll make a snappy today. It's such a good feeling, a very good feeling. The feeling you know when the day is new, and I'll have more ideas for you, and you'll have so much more to talk about. I will too. I know I can't sing, but hey, you know what? I love that song. I love the song Am I Wrong by Nico and Vinz. Like, I literally jam that song out every morning when I wake up. That one, and man, I might do another intro like with that song as the background. That song, Am I Wrong? And I like that other song by Modest Yahoo called One Day. So if you haven't heard that song, do check out that song, One Day. Man, that's a good vibe song. Anyways, I'm going to leave you all with a very positive well wishes and an awesome good night. And in case I don't see you, good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Thanks for hanging out with me.